Hello, mentors. Welcome to meeting one, warming up. So that's going to be on January 18th. And this meeting will split into 3 schools. So please check your mentor assignments. You may be either in CAR, ICEP 1310, Lathrop ALP 2500, or BIA in NS2 1201. This is going to be the agenda. So kids will be arriving to your schools around 2, maybe a little later for BIA. You'll have an introduction from your LAs. Your LAs will introduce the topics a little bit, and then you should start around 2:20 or 2:25, hopefully at the latest. The first part will be done in teams, in tables, and again, please check your table assignments. For example, if your card, you could be C1, C2, etc. Later, you'll be L6, L7. And BIA, you will be B11, B12, B13, etc. So the first part will be led by mentors. It's going to be called You Say, We All Say, taking 45 minutes or so. And then there's going to be a short break decided by your leaders, your LAs. After that, your LAs will lead contest time, which is an activity that takes around 30 minutes. And both these 2 activities, if you were able to attend orientation on the first week of school, these 2 activities were done, of course, in a slightly different way than in this meeting. We'll have the closure at around 3:40. And if you have time, please help us clean out and organize the room. So that's always key to us. Okay, let's quickly go ahead and see what this is about. So this is, of course, the first meeting of the quarter, lots of exciting people to meet, and your classroom leaders will help you a lot during it. So co-mentoring means teaching together at the same time, and you may be alone in your table in some special cases, but hopefully you'll be co-mentoring with at least one other mentor during this meeting. So means teaching together at the same time, not splitting the activities. It's very tempting to do so, and you'll probably end up doing it anyways at some points during the first meeting. But the expectation that we have is as the quarter goes on, you'll be able to really engage with your co-mentor and really collaborate and kind of be part of the same teaching style or teaching method or, teaching flow. So you complement each other. You have different ways to look at the topic, but it just feels like just one teaching force and not 2 teachers trying to grab attention or splitting just into parts. So in You Say, We All Say, let's take a look. This activity, how it goes. So you'll start with a warm welcome that takes about 5 minutes. Just meet your students with excitement, learn a lot about them. So start just with tiny bits. Then our expectation, that's 15 minutes. And it's where students and mentors will fill out this page in the student workbook and then use some index cards to build a chart of the agreed expectations. Let's take a look at this part. So this is the warm welcome. You can read all about it in the teaching manual. And it's important to setting communication expectations, being very explicit from day one and doing yourself. We recommend in particular taking turns, talk loud, listen carefully, while others share ideas and ask for repetition or clarification. So you mentors need to be doing all this so that students can actually follow. Our expectations. So you'll have everybody to complete this page, which is I am, so my nickname or the way people call me. And everybody is also the mentor, so not just the students. Siblings and cousins, favorite drink. So just to, and as a quick icebreaker. And then these 2 questions in 2023, I really hope to, so some achievements or goals. And finally, I suggest this agreement for Math CEO, mentors and students, that I hope we can follow. So it's some expectation, some agreement, right? Some deal that you're trying to bring into the table. And then, you're going to read those. So let's quickly read what happens after. Have students and mentors share the answers. So everybody should share. The first ones should be shared quickly. For the last one, mentors will have students read each expectation and write it in an index card. So when we say the last one is the last question that we talk about the agreement. And then everybody should agree on each expectations, change it a little bit if needed or clarify it. Use positive language instead of don't interrupt, listen to the entire idea of our peers, and also merge expectations that seem, too similar. Maybe 4 is fine, a little more is also fine for the total number of expectations. You may have 8 or 9 students, actually, if many students come, or even more in some cases. So if you have like 8 students, just try to merge so that you get maybe 5 or 6 expectations. You should paste all index card in a poster, take pictures, and keep it visible at all times for future meetings. So what's an expectation? There's lots of examples here, but it all starts with things that break into these 4 categories. The first is rapport, respect, discipline. Okay, so things that we listen, or we take turns when we talk, or we listen to each other carefully. Positive attitudes towards learning, so we make our best effort even if we're tired, or if we're not happy with what we achieve, we try again, or we change our way of trying. Effort, focus, and active participation kind of overlaps with the examples I gave, but this is more like maybe we just don't keep quiet, but if we have something to say, we actually try to say it or try to collaborate in our team. Which brings to the 4th one. So this is all very tied together, sense of community and group work. So here you could have, in the sense of community and group work, things like if we collaborate, if we listen to an answer that we can complement, we do, or we listen to each other very carefully. So here's some links that you could use for that. That's the first part. Then there's a game called Say Anything in part, in the 3rd item in this part 1. This takes 25 minutes around, and you hopefully play the game, but if not, there's several videos in the teaching manual that will teach you how to play. Big recommendation, if you haven't played this game, please play it with friends or family before the Wednesday's meeting. This will make a very huge impact in terms of preparation. Even if you know the rules by heart by watching the videos, or you think you do, there's no replacement as playing the game, because then you'll see what works and what not for explaining the rules, and it's gonna be all clear, so you won't be losing time. So for time management, it's extra key that you play this game, and it's pretty fun. It's a fun game. The second part, you don't have to really care about preparing, because the LAs will be leading in your room. What you have to care is to be with your students, try to be like a team. Of course, try that students have the answers first, especially in the math part, of course, and guide them. Don't overshadow them, but still be part of a team. You can still collaborate. Don't keep quiet, right? So you're still part of this team that's competing, and that will reflect on the contest. So after in the teaching manual, we always publish the last pages. It's always the student workbook. So let's take a quick look at the student workbook. It's just 2 pages long, so it's very short this time. The first one, we already look at it. It's kind of the heart of part 1, and this is the key question, the last one, this agreement for Math CEO, the mentors and students. And finally, Say Anything, just the review of the rules, and some possible questions that you could use to start if people are taking too time to create some of the questions. For example, what would be the most surprising scientific discovery imaginable? So people will create the answers, and then people will also vote for the best answer. So it's a fun, creative game that should spark getting to know your students, your commenter as well. And participation, participate a lot, talk a lot, discuss arguments, like good things there. So this is meeting 1, and we really hope you have a lot of fun in this meeting. There's a makeup session Tuesday at 11, so check our calendar for that. But if you could come, if you could attend 11 to 12 on Tuesday, since there's a holiday, of course, on Monday 16, then that would be huge to keep preparing for your meeting 1. Okay, have fun.